welcome back to the channel. It's been a little while since I've done an update on the garden, so I'll give a quick update on what we've had going on the last few weeks. We've had quite a few spring storms already, some of them with hail, so I will cover the garden when I know that that's going to be coming and try to keep those plants protected so we don't lose them already here in this spring. And you can hear the thunder that we had in this storm. The spring storms are really nice to keep everything nice and moist and the green grass growing, but can also take out the plants if we don't watch it. The other thing we've had is the kids are home from school now for the summer, so they've been helping out in the garden and keeping us busy during the day also. They enjoy playing in the mud that these storms bring too. So tell me what you got there planted.
So this is a petunia, and then this is a dianthus.
Yep, dianthus.
Yeah, dianthus.
What else is there?
This is paprika. Those two are paprika. These are some peppers. Wallflower. That tickles. That tickles. That tickles. There you go.
All the moisture has given us a chance to get out some of these really big weeds in the yard, which has been great. Our air quality hasn't been great, though, because of the smog and smoke from the Canadian fires. Outside, we have also been working on a new garden area in our front kind of yard. We tilled up a great big area and are getting it planted. This day we were planting potatoes and corn.
Because this is a new row, we're doing like two of them. The pink ones and these. So do I just stop right there? I still have it. I love chocolate. I'm like the chocolate.
In the greenhouse, my soil blocks are starting to have the seeds sprout in them. The sunflowers are doing really good and needed to get planted out. And there's a little bit of the other things that are starting to come up too. So these are all flowers, and I'll get them planted out in the garden since they're starting to grow. So I have had these tomatoes growing downstairs for quite a while, and they really needed to get outside. I hadn't put them outside yet because of the storms that we kept having, but this day it was just time to get them out and cover them, and hopefully they do well even with some wind and storms. So this is the area that I'm putting them in, here in this corner, and I needed to get out my garlic that was already growing in here and get the ground ready to put in my tomatoes. So I decided to plant my tomatoes in a square pattern in this area, and I'm putting in organic fertilizer. It's Happy Frog Fruit and Flower, just to get the ground nice and fertilized. And then I put in about 3 to 4 of my tomato plants in this trench that I had built on this side. I wanted to bury the stem as much as I could because they had some little aerial roots. They're little bumps on the bottom of the stems. They were trying to grow more roots for these plants, and I wanted to get them really established and growing for the season. After I had put them in, Nathan built a trellis for me out of conduit, so it's welded together, and I'm going to be doing the lean and lower method with the tomatoes this year. So this will be nice and sturdy and hold them up. And I got them covered just so that because they had been transplanted, I didn't want them stressing out too much with the full sun along with being transplanted. So I have them a little bit covered here. And to start my trellising, I was just using some twine that I have and my tomato clips. You can see here I have it just clipped in the back here and then my extra rolled around in the clip here. And it seems to be strong enough to hold this twine up. This is what Lynn Gillespie does on her show with the Living Farm. So my clip goes all the way down here at the bottom. And if you haven't seen these tomato clips, they have these little teeth in the middle where they bend here, which is where you clip the string or twine, and it holds it really tight, and then you clip the rest around the tomato plant. So it holds everything up for you and gives you can grow them along the string. So it's a little bit trickier to do this with just one hand, but you get the idea here. Put the twine in the very back and then clip it around the stem of the plant that you want to hold up, and it holds it very nicely. And it stays in that spot along the string. So there are metal hooks with string already on them that you can buy, but I don't have them and I'm just kind of trying this year. So I decided to just get a loop of extra twine, which is what I'll use when I move the plants around and do the lean and lowering. You need some extra twine or extra string when you do that as they get taller. And then once I had a little bit on my loop, then hold it all the way up to the top of my trellis, grabbed a clip and clipped it in like the rest of these, and went back down to the bottom, and my plants are done. So with the tomatoes planted, here is a little garden tour of what everything else is looking at right now. You can see everything around is looking really green with all the rain that we've had, so I haven't had to do too much with the sprinklers. Our little hawkereye turnips are just starting to form. They're pretty tiny right now, but they're looking really good. There's weeds and everything growing else around here, but plants are looking good. In the back here, all the red is the beets. I think it's the bull's blood beets that I'm growing for the leaves. And I had a carrot that went to seed out here, and there's carrots coming up everywhere. So that's kind of actually nice. I like that because I didn't have a really good germination rate with the beets, it looks like. These beets over here are avalanche. They're a white beet, and they're kind of spotty over there too. So not a great germination rate over there yet. But my peas are doing really pretty nice. I just got this little fence and put in here. So there's no flowers yet, but they're looking pretty good. Over here is a bunch of Chinese cabbage. I need to thin them so that they can grow a little better over there, and I can eat what I thin out. These are the cabbages, and they're just growing, doing their thing. They're looking really good. So far they haven't had bug problems or anything on them. And then potatoes on this side. I'm not sure why there's a spot where the potatoes didn't come up yet, but the rest of them are looking really nice. Then again, the tomatoes, they're covered for now, just getting planted. So this side, I have a whole lot of volunteer dill that came up. I had a dill plant over here and lots of dill over here. So on this side, I had another Chinese green. Didn't germinate real great, but there are some that are real looking nice over here. So again, a lot of dill, and then mixed in are the carrots that I planted. So they're doing pretty good, just growing. Not too much I have to do with them. Let them grow. Further down is my bok choy, which I'm surprised they're really small, and yet they're starting to try to bolt up and get flowers on them. I haven't had that happen before, but they're all starting to kind of stretch up and try to flower already. So I might just have to pull or eat what's there and replant or something else there that likes the heat. But the purple ones are looking really nice, although there's something that's trying to eat the ends of them. You can see a bunch is missing on this leaf and over here. I'm thinking it's birds because of how the poles look. It's not real like another bug or anything. And then this is a daikon radish that I had put just a couple out here. See how they would do because I haven't grown them before. And on the other side are the onions that I've planted. They're starting to look a little greener and nicer, like they're starting to get some more roots and get growing on the other side there. And then on the end here are all of the broccolis. So here in front, it's called a Chinese jade, and I actually started these in my indoor rise garden. You can see from the foil there. I had planted them before indoors, and they got really yellow. They didn't look real good in the garden, so I planted them outside this time, and they're staying nice and green and growing great outside. So starting them inside worked fine, and they're growing now. And these two broccoli plants are looking great, and I'm excited to see that there is some broccoli starting to grow right there in the middle. The other side is the kids' garden, so we have a few things planted out right now, and Nathan built another trellis for over here. We're going to put cucumbers trellised up on this one. So we have a lot of pepper plants planted right now, and they were a little bit unhappy because it's been windy and they just got transplanted, and so some of them were standing up and some of them weren't quite so happy. They'll start getting better once they get more established in this bed. And the last thing we have out here, we had planted some green bean seeds, which aren't coming up yet, but they're just started. And that's the garden. So thanks for watching.